right, guys. We're here while you're en route across the country with Nash, and really, really bringing love back to the service dogs and the people that they impact. Can you share with us human or dog that have influenced you recently over the years, whatnot? Maybe two or three between the two of you.
Yeah, I'll let you take.
No, I was gonna say
well,
you
I'll,
first.
I'll go first, but I'll let you take probably Bo.
Oh, I was gonna say I was gonna love you said Bo.
Yeah. So I'll speak to more of the human side, and then we'll have Christina on the dog influencer side. But it's hard for me to pinpoint it to one because there's been so many influences on me from a business standpoint and just from a personal development standpoint and a growth standpoint. So I'm going to kind of generalize those into a theme. And the theme really is having purpose and doing something greater than just the easy thing to see, which is what's right in front of you, which is what you're doing today. There's great brands like Patagonia and Kind Bar and Tom Shoes, and you can go through the line and the list. And granted, those are all very successful companies, but at one point in time, they were very small and they were just probably a single product, and they had an uphill battle just like anybody else that would start out today with a similar mission and a similar vision. And so what's so incredible about companies like that is they matched the for-profit side and the capitalist piece of growing a brand and growing a company with actual social good. And they found a way to balance both of those. And those are, two things that are, I would say, challenging to do. But if you set your course and your compass in that direction, that you can absolutely achieve that. And there's one company in specific, which happens to be a partner with what we're doing on this Pause for Love tour, called Lippert. And Jason Lippert and their entire team there exudes this. And they've volunteered hundreds of thousands of service hours in their local community, giving back to the community. They write checks back to the community. They step up and they do what they say they're going to do. And they're a manufacturing company in the RV industry. And it would be super easy just to go about your job, do things really well. It's not that you wouldn't do things well, but create great products. But it just ends there. And that's where they took a step further, and they kept going and kept going and kept going and said, this isn't enough. And they keep raising that bar on putting their money where their talk is and making it happen. And it's companies like that I love, not just studying, but really learning from and trying to find what's the way that you can tweak that and the application that you can have in whatever your ecosystem and environment is in the present day, and continue to build in that direction.
Yeah, brilliant. Before going to the dog influencers, that is one of the reasons we're recognizing leaders who care, because it's been shown that the leaders who really do care are the ones that are actually doing better in business and for their community anyway. So it's not rocket science. So dog influencers?
Well, okay, we already gave it away, but our last golden Bo, every time I talk about him, I will hold back the tears today, but I cry because he was the legacy that he left on us, and literally on every single person he met was unlike anything I've ever seen. And I know people, they lose dogs every day, unfortunately, and every dog leaves a legacy of their own. But in us, like, it really did show us so much in his loss, and we learned a lot from healing from losing him. But what we learned from him when he was alive and shortly after losing him, just reflecting on all that, was we're not guaranteed tomorrow. Like, anything can happen, and it can happen really abruptly. So you really have to live intentionally and just love without abandon, and just look past all the pettiness of stuff that adds up in your life that really doesn't matter, because all of us have a day that is already written that we will leave this earth, and there is nothing we can do to add or subtract from that. And every single day that we wake up, like, we've got a fresh start. We don't need a January 1st, but we've got a fresh start to be able to change and to do something. And we're all human. Like, not every day is going to be some world changing, like, lavishly intentional day. Some days, like, as I do, like, I'm caught doing laundry, washing toilets, like, things that are boring.
But still necessary.
But still, very necessary.
Wow, real life.
But it's true. It's just like waking up with intentionality and just like really focusing on the things that matter. And outside of Beebs, we called him, his name was Bo, but we called him Beebs.
Beebs for short.
Beeps for short. But I think too, something that I am really on the human side of things, just really encouraged and influenced by is I have a lot of friends who are moms, their wives, some of them work outside the home, some of them work inside the home. And I think with community, which is where my heart lies, I just see so much encouragement and influence in that sphere. And they don't have some, large title or some large Instagram following, but the way that they love their family and the way that they influence them to be better, to do better themselves is super encouraging. And I just think that shows you don't need some giant following to make an impact. Like, I'm truly impacted by them. They say too, you're influenced and you become who you surround yourself with. So really take inventory of who you have, and it's not about who's going to make you better and what they can do for you. Like, there's going to be highs and lows, but yeah, I really think that I'm encouraged by the community that we have and what they do for their families.
Yeah, no, well said. It's been written that we can learn a lot from dogs and how they're present in the moment all the time. When I was walking the other day, and so this guy who walks his dog all the time, and I said, man, he must have smelled that spot 1,000,000 times because you take him by here every time. And he says, but he smells it every time like it's the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're present in the moment. They can teach us how to focus, and you're right, and cherish each moment that's out there. And I've seen it, by the way, also in companies that allow employees to bring their dogs to work. How that makes a difference too, because you see the dogs actually going to different offices, saying hello to everybody and stuff. So there's a lot of ways they make an impact, and so that's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's definitely a lot we can learn from our four-legged furry friends.
100%.
Thanks.